live watercolor tutorial. Today we'll be painting an easy watercolor bird. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to set up my camera. So yeah, I will shake for a minute. Hi everyone. If you're watching live, say hi in the live chat. We have Hannah. Hi Hannah. Kizzy is here. Laura is here. Hi Sydney. Okay, so before we get started, you can find the outline to this bird, which is the blue flycatcher, in the description of this video. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this straight. Okay, there we go. And you can also find the reference photo in the description. Hi. So Hannah says, getting my water in my brush tub. Happy to be with you today. Well, I'm happy you're here, Hannah. Kizzy says, hi, Allison, and everyone who's here. Laura says, hi. Hi, Joyce and Sarah. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over my supplies, but before I do, I want to mention a free 10-day watercolor bird challenge. It is starting next week. If you signed up for it, let me know in the live chat. And it's totally free. The link to sign up is in the description of this video. And even if you're watching this after the challenge has ended, you can still sign up. Okay, I'm going to go over my supplies. So I'm using cold pressed watercolor paper from Arches. This is the 9x12 block, and my painting will be 8x10 inches. And your outline might look a little different. Mine, I just added some leaves and stuff, and of course you can add whatever kind of elements you want to your bird. And for my brushes, I am using my silver black velvet round brushes. So I have a size 8, size 4, and size 2. And I also have my size 0 round brush from Princeton Neptune here. And all of the supplies I use are linked below in the description for you guys if you want to check them out. And then my paints, I have Hansa Yellow Medium from Daniel Smith, Senlier Yellow Deep. I have Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein, and I have this Phthalo Blue from Daniel Smith, which is like a very beautiful blue. And I have Payne's Gray from Daniel Smith, Burnt Umber, also from Daniel Smith. And then I have Chinese White and Black. I think this is called Ivory Black from Winsor & Newton here. And then I have these blue shimmer colors. These are from KMS Watercolor. And yeah, so this is the Big Dipper blue. And then I have Blueberry Snowflake. All right. Wow, hi, Naomi. She says, hey everyone, this is my first tutorial with Allison. Looking forward to it. Yay, well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Louie and Sydney. Sydney says that she's looking forward to the bird challenge. I am too. I'm so excited for next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bia, hi Bia and Shelly. Okay, let's get started. So I have my reference photo up beside me on my tablet, and I'm looking at this bird, and like with a lot of my animals that I paint, I like to start with the eye. So I'm going to start with his eye and his head first. And I'm going to move my camera a little closer for you guys. Okay. All right, and I'm going to start with my size 2 round brush here. Hi, Sarah. Sarah Lucas, she says, hi, rushing to get my art supplies ready. Sarah Reed says that she's looking forward to the bird challenge. Okay, so I'm gonna first start with the black part. So I think it's his iris of his eye. So I'm going to use Payne's Gray here. And yeah, I'm just kind of reactivating this, putting some on my palette here. And I'm just adding enough water to make this easy to paint with, so not too much water. And he does have highlights in his eye, so try not to paint over those. I kind of drew them out, so I'm just kind of painting around the highlights. And I'm using the very tip of my brush. Okay. I'm not talking much because I'm concentrating really hard right now. It's so hard to like talk and paint at the same time. Okay. Have you ever painted a bird before? Let me know in the chat if you've painted a bird or if this is your first bird. Okay, yeah, I think I'm almost done here. Okay, so I'll let that dry before we paint the dark brown. It looks like he has really dark brown for the, oh wait, is this the pupil? I think this is the pupil, and then the iris is the colored part. So his iris is really dark brown. So we'll wait for that to dry. Hi, Marique. I hope I said your name right. They say, hi, Allison. I was so looking forward to this tutorial, but not feeling so well, so I'm going to paint along later. Oh, that's okay. I hope that you feel better soon. Okay, as we wait for his pupil to dry, we're going to paint around the outer part of his eye here. And it looks like it's kind of grayish, I guess. So I'm just gonna reactivate this gray on my palette here. Okay. Then I'm just going to, yeah, paint along the outer part of his eye here. If you accidentally paint in the, like this part, it's okay. Just try not to. It will be very dark, so it probably doesn't matter too much if you paint where there's dark brown. Okay, so that's good. All right, and then yeah, we do have to wait for that to dry before I paint in the iris. As we wait, I think now I'm going to kind of paint in where there's blue, like a very vibrant blue on his head. So for that, I have this blue here, and gosh, I need to make room on my palette. So I'm going to wet some of my paper towel here and just wipe some of this away. Cindy says, I painted a vermilion flycatcher. Oh, you did? That's actually the first bird we're painting for the challenge. And she painted a blue bird, cardinals, blue jays, and then she says, I'm still learning. Feathers can be difficult. They sure can. They are quite difficult. Okay, I'm gonna take some of this blue. This is phthalo blue from Daniel Smith and add some to my palette. So you can see it's like super vibrant, and I don't really want it to be this dark, so I'm adding some more water. And then I'm gonna add some of this shimmery blue here from KMS Watercolor. I linked her shop below, by the way, and there is a 10% off coupon for you to her shop, but I don't think she's open right now. She'll be reopening next month, I think. Okay, so yeah, I'm adding some more water. I don't want this to be too dark. All right. And he is blue, like right at the top of his head here, and then kind of this way. And then he's like super dark right here, like kind of black. So I'm just kind of painting brush strokes to like go in the same direction his feathers are going. And then as I'm painting the top of its head, I'm kind of letting my brush make like little feathers sticking out. And I'm gonna take this other brush I have with just water and kind of blend this a little bit this way. And it looks like a little too dark, so I'm kind of wiping some of this away, like that. And then I'm using what's left in this brush to kind of paint in the rest of his head. But yeah, we want to try our best to start as light as we can, because with watercolor, as you may know, you can't work dark to light. So we want to start as light as we can. And I'm just kind of using the rest of the paint in my brush. And there we go. Okay. I am reading some more of your guys' comments here. Bia says, I'm doing English today, but tomorrow I will paint this. Can anyone help me? What can be the possible title of how to put your life jacket step by step on an airplane? Oh. Carrie says emergency water landing instructions. That's a good one. Okay. Now let's go back to his eye. His eye is partly dry now, so let's paint in the dark brown. For that, I'm using Burnt Umber from Daniel Smith. And I'm just gonna put some of this on my palette here. It's okay if it kind of mixes into the green or blue on my palette. It's fine. And it's dark, so we don't want to add too much water. We just want to add enough water to make it easy to paint with. And I'm still using my size 2 round brush. Okay. And remember, he does have some highlights in his eye, so you don't want to paint over those. Okay. I'm concentrating really hard right now. To me, the eye is like the most important. If you're painting an animal and it's like the focal point of your painting, the eye is like the most important, in my opinion. I painted over part of the outer edge, so I'm going to take this other brush I have with just water and kind of, well, it doesn't have very much water in it. You don't want it to be too wet. Kind of just blend that out. It's fine. I'll fix this when this dries. Okay. And then I'm painting around the highlight here. Then he has like another little one here. Take your time. And yeah, I will be doing another layer when this dries, just to add some shadow to his eye. Okay, I'm cleaning my brush. Naomi says, I've painted a black-capped chickadee and have painted eggs, a nest, and feathers, which I love. Always excited to see how other people paint. Thanks, Allison. You're welcome. That reminds me, I have this painting here, this black-capped chickadee. This is a tutorial here on my YouTube channel for you guys if you wanted to check it out. I did this like in the summer, I think. And then I also linked to other bird tutorials that we did, that we've done. So if you wanted to do more birds this weekend to practice before the bird challenge, you can find more bird tutorials. Okay, now let's continue on with his head here. So I'm going to take the same blue that we used, and I'm just adding some more water to this because I felt like it was a little too dark. And then I'm going to have this brush here, this other brush handy. It just has water in it, and I'm going to use it to blend. So I'm working with two brushes at the same time. Okay. All right, I'm going to move down this way. I'm going to start in the corner of his eye here. And again, I'm just painting in the same direction I see his feathers go. Okay, and I'm going to use this other brush, my blending brush, with just water, and kind of work these brush strokes a little bit. I'm leaving a little bit of white too. I don't want to, it's good to leave some white because that just gives your painting more depth. And yeah, this is just the first layer. We will be adding more detail later on. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. And over here where I'm painting right now, it is pretty dark, but like I said, this is just the first layer. I'm just trying to get this blue painted. And I'm switching to my blending brush. Just kind of blending this down. Okay. Yeah, I guess this bird is native to India. I don't know if I've said that, but it is. And it looks very beautiful. Okay, yeah, I'm working with my blending brush now. I'm just kind of blending these brush strokes a little bit. Okay. feel like these brushes that I'm using are like so nice for fur and animals like birds. It makes like they're so okay. What am I trying to say? They make painting fur and feathers easy. Okay. And then it's pretty dark over here, but he does have more blue this way. And then in this area, he is orange and yellow, so try not to paint over that area. All right, going to read some of your comments while we wait for him to dry. Thanks, Bia. She says my voice is very relaxing. Thank you. Hi, Heidi. Good morning. Let's see. Hi, Fallon. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. She says, what shade of phthalo blue do you use? Green or red shade? Good question. I think this is the green shade. Yeah, this is the green shade. Shannon. Hi, Shannon. She says, good morning. I'm not able to paint along with you at the moment. I am in the process of getting my studio organized. That's okay. That sounds fun. It sounds like a nice way to spend your Friday, organizing your studio. I really need to do that. I feel like my studio is really messy and disorganized right now. Okay, let's move on to his beak. So his beak, it looks like it has a little bit of blue, but it's mostly black. So first I'm just going to do like a very light shade of blue on his beak. So I'm taking the same blue we used, adding a little bit more water to it. And I'm just going to paint in some of the blue. Okay, just like that. And I cleaned my brush a little bit and I'm just kind of, yeah. So that's that. I'll wait for that to dry and then I'll paint in the black. So yeah, let's go ahead and paint more around his eye and in his eye. So this time I'm going to get some more Payne's Gray. This is from Daniel Smith. And I'm just going to add some to my palette. Okay. All right, and I'm going to add a little bit into the brown, like on the outer edge of the brown of his eye. And I am going to have another brush handy, this time my size 0 round brush from Princeton Neptune. It has a little bit of water in it. I'm going to add this Payne's Gray. There, and then I'm going to blend with this brush. And then I'm kind of moving this around. I need some more Payne's Gray. Okay, I don't want to add too much. I still want his eye to look brown. I'm just trying to add, like, I'm just trying to paint some shadow in his eye. Okay, that's good. Heidi says, what size paper are you using? I am using the 9x12 size watercolor block from Arches. It's cold press, and my actual painting is 8x10. Hi, Barbara. She says, hi, Allison. I just have a few minutes to say hi and watch a little bit. I prepared my live coloring beginning in 1 hour. Oh, nice. Yeah, Barbara, she has a YouTube channel. And so if you haven't already, you should definitely check out her channel too. Okay, yeah, so I'm just adding some more paint spray here. And now we're going to paint the outer part of his eye, like around his eye. And I am going to have my blending brush ready with just water. It just has water in it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start at on the side of his eye in the corner. And yeah, it looks like he has a very dark, like a dark line here. Like this. And then another one down here. But it looks like it doesn't go all the way around. Okay, I'm gonna take my brush with just water. I'm gonna kind of move this, blend this paint spray up this way. And then I'm going to add some more paint spray over here. And switch to my blending brush again and kind of blend this out. Not too much though. I still want that really pretty blue. I don't want to like make it dull. Okay. I will revisit this area when this dries. I'm taking more paint spray. And now I'm going to paint this area right here. So this is like super, oh wait, I changed my mind. Sorry, I changed my mind. Let's go ahead and paint that nice pretty blue again. So let's add the second layer to that blue. Let that dry and then we'll paint the black areas. Okay. So again, I'm using Phthalo Blue from Daniel Smith, the green shade. And then I have some of the shimmery blue here from KMS Watercolors called Blueberry Snowflake. I'm mixing a little bit of this in. And this time I am adding like a good amount of water to it. I still want it to be light. I don't want it to be too dark. And then I have, of course, my blending brush ready. This is just my technique. I usually work with 2 brushes. And I'm going to start right here beside his eye. And getting my blending brush. And I'm just kind of dragging out this paint I just painted with. but I'm not painting everywhere with it. I'm leaving some of that first layer unpainted. And moving more this way. My brush strokes go in the same direction as his feathers. And yeah, moving down. Okay, I'm going to switch to my blending brush. Notice how I'm not like painting everywhere. I'm leaving some of that white on my paper and some of that first layer. Okay, and as we move this way, a lot of this will be black or like Payne's gray, but I'm still painting over here because some of the blue will be exposed. Okay. Okay, I'm reading some of your comments. Carrie says, I bought those same brushes in size 2, 6, and 10, and they are terrible. I know that everyone loves them, so I think I got some bad ones. The 6 and 10 feel like their hair has been burnt on the edges. Oh, that's weird. That's really odd. Maybe you should request like a return, like a refund or something. Bia says, hi Allison, what will you be doing this weekend? Oh no, it's okay. Let's see. I am going to be preparing for the bird challenge. I still haven't transferred the outlines onto my paper and stuff, so I'm going to be doing that. And then I have a lot of cleaning to do and laundry. And then I might edit a YouTube video if I feel like it. Okay, so oops, I just splattered paint a little bit. Okay, my advice for you, don't have your mixing palette right on your painting. I do this because it's easy for you guys to see what I'm doing, like with my palette. Otherwise, it would not be here because I have splattered paint on my paintings a lot doing this. Let's see. Taff, hi Taff, says, those brushes are sharper than my eyesight. I know, right? They're so pointy. I love them. Bia says, how many challenges have you done? Like, how many have I hosted? I think this one, I did 2 butterfly challenges. I did a mushroom challenge, and then this is a bird challenge, and then I've done a few monthly challenges where it's just like one prompt for the month. Okay, I have Payne's Gray. I just added some to my palette with water, and I just mixed enough water in here to make it easy to paint with. And of course I have my blending brush ready. So now we're going to paint in the dark areas on his face. And I like to use Payne's Gray because it has like a really pretty blue tint to it. So yeah, if you don't have this but you have black, you can use that. I'm going to start here, right where his beak is. So I'm kind of drawing in where his beak is. Looks like it's like this. And then now I'm painting up. Okay, now before it dries, I'm going to use my blending brush and blend this up. Not too much though, because we still want, you know, we don't want to make all this right here dull looking. We just kind of want to blend this up to create a nice gradient. Okay, and then I'm going to add some Payne's Gray, more up here around his eye. And I'm adding a little bit of like little lines. Okay, I don't really like this here. I'm just gonna kind of smooth this out a little bit. And then I'm going to move more around his eye here. Usually with my paintings of animals, I spend the most time on their face. So yeah, we are spending a lot of time on his face, but that's just what I like to do because their face and eyes are like the focal point and the most detailed. I'm going to add some Payne's Gray in the corner of his eye here. Okay. If you're just joining, we are painting the Blue Flycatcher. And there's an outline in the description for you and reference photos, or a reference photo. Okay, taking my blending brush and I'm just kind of blending this Payne's Gray over here in this way, and then more this way. I'm trying to leave a little bit of that blue unpainted. I don't want to paint over all the blue. And then I'm going to add some Payne's Gray around the edge here of the blue area of his head. And then I moved to my blending brush. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty good for now. I will go back in later on and add some more detail. I am reading some more of your comments. I'm kind of behind. I'm sorry, guys. Hi, AC. AC says, what's your recommended brushes for beginners or any advice for beginners? My recommended brushes, I started out, here, I'll show you. I started out with these Princeton Neptune brushes. These are really nice brushes for the price, and they did me so well for like a year and a half. And yeah, I totally recommend these brushes for beginners. Just getting like a small brush like this and like another size brush like this, and then this size. And if you paint large, then like a large brush, like a size 12 brush. And I recommend round brushes because they are very versatile. Is that how I say that? Versatile, because you can use the very tip for small details or like the whole brush for large areas. Okay, now let's work on his beak. So his beak is pretty dark. We're going to be using Payne's Gray again, or black if you don't have Payne's Gray. So I'm just kind of reactivating this here and adding some more on my palette. Thank you, Bia. She says a bird is looking so cute. Hannah says, have you ever made a vision board? A friend challenged me to make one. Instead of pasting pictures from magazines, I sketched out illustrations. Ooh, that's cool. That's a good idea. I have not really made a vision board, to be honest. I've wanted to, like I want to, I just haven't. But that's a really good idea. And then yeah, of course I have my blending brush here. You guys know that by now. You know that I work 2 brushes. Okay. So let's start with the very bottom part of his beak, which is dark. Okay, so I'm gonna paint that in. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna use my blending brush and kind of blend this up. And then this way, a little bit. And then now I'm going to paint some Payne's Gray on the upper part of his beak. But he does have a highlight right here, so we don't want to paint over that highlight. And he does have a lot of highlight going on up here. I'm going to go ahead and just paint the very top. And then kind of like over here, and then use my blending brush. I'm wiping it on my paper towel a little bit. Okay. All right, and then he has like a line for his mouth. All right, I kind of added a lot of paint right there. So I want to soak some of this up. All right, let's let his beak dry and then we'll add more detail. Let's see. Hannah says, do you do art just for yourself? I know you don't have a lot of time for that, but what would it be that you would do for you? Yeah, I don't really do art for myself much anymore. I probably should, honestly. If I could, if I made the time, it would be an oil painting. Maybe of like just a very vibrant, detailed oil painting of animals together, like maybe a fox with like some moths. I don't know, just something cool like that. And it would be like really big too, like super big. Okay, now I feel like his face is pretty good. I do want to go back in, add some more detail and add more blue later on, but let's go ahead and paint in the rest of him because we're almost an hour in, and yeah. So let's go ahead and get out like a yellow or an orange. So again, I am using Hansa Yellow Medium from Daniel Smith, Yellow Deep from Senlier, and I can never pronounce this right, Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein. Basically some yellows and oranges. And we're going to start with just like a very light yellow orange. So this time I'm going to use my size 4 round brush. And I already have some on here, but I'm going to wipe some of this off. I don't want blue in my yellow. That's just not a good thing. You don't want that. I'm going to add some of this Yellow Deep from Senlier. And yeah, we do want water, like a good amount of water. We want this to be light, a light layer. And then I'm going to have my size 8 round brush here handy to blend with, and it just has water in it. Okay, let's go ahead and start just on his whole body here. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll paint in this area. So my brush strokes are like bigger. Okay, and then I'm going to take my blending brush with just water and kind of work this paint around. I'm still using my blending brush. So this brush just has water in it. I'm just kind of oops, sorry guys. I'm just kind of moving this paint. There's like a little fuzz on my painting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is just the first layer. We just want a really light first layer. This area is a little darker, but that's okay because he is darker here anyways. And then down here on his body, he's pretty light. So we want this to be as light as we can. And there's also like a shadow down here too. But yeah, we just want this to be light to start out with. Okay, and now I'm going to take this yellow again and paint here. So I just kind of added some paint, and then now I'm taking my blending brush, blending this out. You have to be careful painting next to the blue because we don't want him to start looking green. I mean, he does have a little bit of a green tint in his feathers around where there's blue and yellow next to each other, but we don't want any green happening. Okay. Shanna says, I'm still learning how to use these brushes. Love-hate relationship. The points are so sharp, it's difficult to see where my brush point is on my painting. Or am I just going blind? No, you're right, Shannon. It is kind of difficult to get used to these brushes. They are pretty sharp. I had the same problem. But yeah, it just takes time to get used to them. Okay, I need to change my jar water because it's blue. Like I have 2 jars and they're both blue and I'm working with yellow. So I'm going to change them and take a bathroom break. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. All right, I'm back. Since we're kind of taking a quick break, it is time for the artist spotlight. Are you guys ready? Artist spotlight. Okay. Okay, so every live tutorial video, I do an artist spotlight. And today's artist is, I'm trying to pull up their Instagram, is Brushes and Bangles. They did my live tutorial last Friday. And if you want to be featured, have a chance to be featured in an artist spotlight, all you have to do is use the hashtag AllisonLionArt when you post your artwork from a tutorial of mine, and you'll have a chance to be featured. So this is Brushes and Bangles on Instagram, and they did my moon tutorial last Friday. Isn't that beautiful, like the gold? So yeah, I linked their Instagram below for you guys if you wanted to support them. But okay, you probably can't see it that well. But yeah, their artwork. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. All right, let's get back to painting this bird. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. I just have to hook my phone back up. All right. Those of you who are painting this bird with me, how is it going? Are you having fun? Okay. I have to bring my reference photo back up, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm reading some more of your comments. I am behind, so I'm sorry. AC says, how's Sonnet's watercolor? I'm thinking of getting them. I don't know. I've never used them. I'm sorry. AC says, do you always use an extra brush for blending? I've never thought of doing that. I usually use the same brush to blend. Yes, I do. It's just a technique I just picked up on within the last year, and I love having two brushes to paint with, one with just paint and one with just water. I work quicker instead of having to clean my brush a lot to then blend with. Yeah, it's just quicker and more efficient and easier to do. Hi, creating with Iris. Okay, so let's get going. Yeah, it's pretty dry, but let's work more on his beak, get that done. So I am reactivating my Payne's Gray. And I'm just going to add a little bit more to the lower part of his beak to make the shadow more like darker, make it darker. And I'm taking my blending brush, just kind of blending this a little bit. And then I'm going to add some Payne's Gray over here. You see my blending brush again. And then yeah, I'm gonna add some somewhere here. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with his beak. I think that's good. Sarah says, it's going okay. I missed the beak. I had to leave for a minute. Yeah, I think you can go back in the live video, Sarah. Like you could rewind it a little bit, I think. Okay, now I just cleaned my brushes. Now we're ready to move on to the yellow part of his body. We're going to work the second layer now. So this time I'm going to add some of this yellow deep color here. This is from Holbein. I'm going to add some of this to my yellow. Just to make like a dark yellowy orange. And then I have my blending brush too. Okay, so let's start up here, and I'm gonna start on the area where his head meets up with his body. So this area is kind of darker. So I'm just kind of making little brush strokes like this. Okay, in the same direction as his feathers, and then I'm taking my blending brush and I'm kind of blending this up a little bit like that. Be careful because you don't it is looking a little green here. You have to be careful. And then I'm going to add some of this over here. Okay, and that's pretty good. Looks good to me. Okay. Naomi says, I'm painting along with you and I'm so happy with how it's going. It's just so nice to have company while I paint. I know, right? That's why I love these live tutorials. It's so nice to have company and to just paint together. It's kind of like we're painting like in person together. Okay, yeah, I took more of this yellowy orange. And now I'm going to add some for here, kind of underneath where his wing is, because this is dark. And then I'm just making some big brush strokes. And I'm going to take my blending brush, just kind of smooth out these brush strokes a little bit. I still want that lighter yellow to show in some areas. And it looks like, yeah, he's pretty dark right here, and then he gets lighter down here, kind of like white. Okay. I'm just adding some more of this here. And some more yellow deep. Hi, Belle. How are you? Hi, Heather. She says, good morning. It's looking great, Allison. Thank you. Okay. And then over here, it's dark too, kind of. So I'm gonna add some of this. Okay. All right, let's move on to the lower part down here. So this time, I'm going to mix a little bit of, it's called Chinese White from Winsor & Newton. And yeah, it has some green in it. I really need to clean that out, so I'm gonna do that. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of wiping out this green in here. If you don't have white watercolor paint, I would definitely get some because it's so nice to mix it into your other colors to make more of like a pastel version of your paints. So yeah, I'm just taking some of this Chinese white. I'm gonna mix some in here. As you can see, it makes kind of like a chalky pastel yellow, which is what we want. And yeah, down here, he's white, so, or just a very light yellow or white. So I'm gonna just I'm leaving some of that white and light yellow of my paper exposed. I don't want to paint over everywhere. And I'm taking this other brush with just water, kind of blending this out a little bit. And as you can see, I'm leaving some of that white. And over here, there will be a shadow because yeah, it's pretty dark over here, but I'm just painting this in. And then he has like part of his wing is right here, so don't paint over this area. Okay, I think this is good for now. Let's move on to, he has part of a wing right here, and then we'll work on his wings. You guys ready? This might be one of the most challenging parts of this tutorial. Let's see. Hannah says, he's looking good. It's a beautiful bird. I wish they lived in my neck of the woods. I know, right? They're so beautiful. Belle says, my name is Allison too. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Now, his wings. Let's start with a very light blue, kind of like how we painted his face, or like his head. And yeah, we're going to start with that. And I'm going to use my size 2 round brush. And yeah, I'm just kind of reactivating this blue on my palette. And we want it to be light, so we want a lot of water. And I'm just going to paint in his wing here just with this light blue. And then we'll go back in when it's dry and add more dimension and depth. This is just the first layer. And I am leaving a little bit of white on my paper. Like that. So how are you guys doing? How's it going? Let me know in the chat. If you're not painting this bird, are you working on anything? What are you up to? Okay, and yeah, let's go ahead and paint in his wing here with the light blue. Up here, it's pretty feathery, like, yeah, it's pretty feathery up here. So I'm just kind of making some feathery texture. And I'm leaving some white on my paper. I'm not too worried about making this detailed right now because this is just the first layer. Okay, now we get to the difficult part. So, in the outline, I had more lines for the feathers, but when I was tracing this on my paper, it was just too much. So there aren't as many lines as there is in the outline or the reference photo, and that's okay because you don't want, like, it's better to just make it simple in my opinion. You don't want too many lines here because it'll just be kind of messy looking, I think. So yeah, okay. Gosh, I'm gonna start painting each individual feather with this light blue. Okay. Even I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I hope I don't mess up on this live tutorial. I'm just adding some more water to my blue here. So that's what I'm doing right now. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna start with this feather here. And yeah, this is just the first layer. I'm going to paint the area where it's lightest. Okay. So like this, like that. And then the darker area, I'm going to leave it unpainted because that will help me when I go back in and add the dark blue and black. It'll just help me know where to paint. I'm going to kind of blend this way. And then I'm going to paint in this feather here, and I'm going to leave a little space in between them because I'm going to, when I go back in with the dark blue and paints gray and black, I'll know where to paint that. This is just kind of how I find painting feathers like this easiest. ASC says, watching you paint is relaxing. It's nighttime now in my country, but I'll probably try to paint birds tomorrow. Nice. Where are you from? What country are you from? Fallon says, I'm at work painting things for Valentine's Day. I'm actually painting a couple of lovebirds right now. Oh, that's so cute. Sydney says, this is looking great so far. I love the colors on the bird already. Me too. I love these two colors together. Taff says, it's past midnight here. I'm just a spectator for now. That is too funny. Yeah, I would be so tired. I wouldn't be able to like even hold my brush. Hannah says, I'm painting with you and switching laundry now and then. Nice. And then AC says they're from the Philippines. Cool. Bia is here, I think. Aren't you from the Philippines, Bia? All right, let's continue on. I'm gonna paint this feather here. Okay. And yeah, again, I'm leaving a little space where there's going to be dark blue and black. And I know his wings don't look this blue. This is just the first layer, so I know like there's a lot of shadow going on here. Okay, I'm gonna move up here. Okay, and then I'm gonna kind of use my blending brush and just blend this a little bit into this area. So as you can see, I'm leaving space in between each feather. Or trying to, at least. Yeah, I'm just blending this up into this area with my blending brush. Oh, Taff is from the Philippines. How cool. Hi, Mary. Mary says, watching you paint this lovely bird, studying a painting I'm working on is of my sister and brother-in-law while watching. Ooh. Wow, that sounds nice. Hannah says, where's everyone from? I'm from southern Adirondack area of upstate New York. Yeah. Share with us guys where you're from. Okay, I'm gonna paint this feather. It looks like it's kind of like this, I think. I'm from Indiana. Not very exciting. Okay. Mary says she's from Houston, Texas. I have some family that lives in Spring, Texas. It's kind of by Houston. Heather says California. Laura's from Germany. Sarah, Rita's from United Kingdom. Wow. People from all over the world. How cool is that? Yeah, and I'm leaving a little bit of space in between this feather here and these feathers up here. So as you can see, there's like white space in between each one. Fallon says, do you watch any other artists on YouTube? I do. I haven't been lately because it's just been kind of like busy. And yeah, I haven't been a lot lately, but I do. Let's see, who do I watch? Emma Carpenter, I think that's her name. Emma Carpenter. She's from the UK and she does studio vlogs and I love her vlogs. Catnip, I watch sometimes. Who else? It's been a while. I haven't been watching very many YouTube videos lately. What about you guys? Who do you like to watch on YouTube? Sometimes I do Shada Campbell. Sometimes I do her tutorials, but I haven't been doing tutorials lately. I've just been doing my own thing. Shelly's from Canada. Palin, she says, I'm from boring Michigan. Palin, Indiana is more boring than Michigan. So, there. Uh, Heather says that she didn't transfer the wing feathers. Oh no. You might just have to draw them on, I guess. Hannah says Indiana is beautiful. It is. It is beautiful. I just wish sometimes I didn't live in such a flat area. Like, I wish we had more hills and mountains. Okay, and as we get up here, it starts to get like fluffy feathers. So I'm just kind of painting that in a little bit. And then using my blending brush, just kind of blending this. I have a feeling this is going to be a long tutorial, guys. I hope you're okay with that. Naomi says she's from Canada. AC says, who are some of your favorite watercolor artists? Gosh, I have so many. I have so many. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Of some names. I really like Nuce watercolor. Carrie Rogers. She does beautiful nature art. Gosh, there's so many. Okay, and then he has part of his feather down here, but it looks like it's pretty dark, like kind of black. But I'm just going to go ahead, paint in a little blue because I might have a little bit of blue show through. So yeah, just a little bit of blue here, nothing too detailed. Heidi is from Florida. Hannah says that she watches Steve from the Mind of Watercolor. Oh, I haven't heard of that. Cindy says, I have a long list of people I like to listen to talking about art in the background. I find it helpful to hear about struggles and goals from multiple people. I'm always open to learning more. That's awesome, Cindy. It's really good to not just get your information and learning from one person. It's good to have multiple sources, in my opinion. Okay, let's move on to his tail feather. So, it looks like it's gray, and black. Okay. I'm just gonna have a little bit of blue show through here and there. So I'm just adding some blue. And then kind of blending this into my paper slightly. like that. And then we'll let that dry, and then we will make this actually look like his tail feather later on. Shelly says, Winton Paper Co. I'll have to check out all of these channels. I've never heard of a lot of them. Okay, now it's time for the second layer on the wings. So I'm going to be using my size 2 round brush again. This time I'm getting Payne's Gray. I'm going to be painting with Payne's Gray. So I am activating it, and I'm going to grab some more from my pan here. Okay, and then I'm going to have another brush handy to blend with. I think I might use, okay, I can't find my teeny tiny round brush anywhere for some reason. I don't know where it went. So I'm going to use this other brush to blend with. Laura says the mind of watercolor. I think I've seen a few of their videos. That's a good one. All right, here we go, guys. Let's do this. So in each area where you left white, we are going to now paint with Payne's Gray. If you don't have Payne's Gray, I would suggest mixing black with a little bit of blue, okay? Because you don't just want to paint with straight black. So mix a little bit of blue in there. And I'm going to start with this feather here. Let's do this hard part first, and then we'll move on to the rest of the bird. So yeah, I'm just gonna paint like this. Use the blending brush with just water and blend. Make sure you don't have too much water in your brush. I've made that mistake plenty of times. And then don't blend all the way, because you want to keep that blue. And yeah, when we're done with the feathers here, we will paint up here. Let's just do these feathers first and get it over with, because this might be a little difficult. And I'm thinking when this layer dries, I will go back, add some more depth and some more blue later on. Let's see. Shelly says we moved to the prairies in April 2019 from the coast. I honestly don't miss the mountains or all the rain. On average, the sun shines here 319 days out of the year. You don't miss the mountains? I don't know. I like the mountains, but I also like the ocean. If I had to choose, I honestly don't know what I would choose. What would you guys choose? Mountains or the ocean? Let me know. I love the ocean. I love swimming in it. Especially Florida. Like going to Florida and swimming in the ocean. It's one of my most favorite things. And I don't do it hardly ever, like only a few times I've done it. I don't go to Florida too often. But I just love it. I could like be out in the water all day. Seriously. And then I regret it later when I'm like burnt. Even if I wear sunscreen. And then of course reading. Reading on the beach is one of my most favorite things. I don't really like laying out in the sun, but if I have an umbrella, I love it. Okay, I'm gonna move down here. I wish I had like a computer or an AI to read me your guys' comments as I paint. That would be nice. Okay. And then up here, this feather meets up with these feathers, so I'm going to add some right here. Let's see, I'm reading your guys' comments. Fallon says, Shada, the catnip, Leah Elixon, Holly Exley. Yeah, those are nice channels. Heidi says, Shailene Louise, Helen Cousins, Botanical Art. I haven't heard of those. I'll have to check those out. Macinio. Oh my gosh, I can't ever say her name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, her channel's really nice. I aspire my channel to be as nice as her channel someday. Of course, with my own twist, you know, not exactly like hers, but she has a nice channel. Okay. Yeah, this part might be a little cumbersome, but you just have to enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Take your time. Okay. By the way, if you don't know, there is a free 10-day watercolor bird challenge starting next week. We'll be painting 5 birds in 10 days. It's going to be so much fun. And it comes with tutorials like this, live tutorials. So if you haven't signed up, it's free. Click the link in the description of this video and you'll find it. It's going to be so much fun. Yes, the tutorials might be as long as this. it'll be fun. And you gotta see like every single brush stroke I make, which I feel like is very helpful for you guys, because tutorials where they're speed up, it's just hard to see exactly everything they do. Okay, I'm reading more of your comments here. Oh, Laura, that is so sweet. She says, there's no channel which videos make me as excited as Allison's. That just makes my day, honestly. Thank you so much. Sometimes it's just hard. Like, I compare myself and my channel to other channels, and I'm like, who in the world is gonna watch my videos? And like, who would choose my videos over this person? It's just, some days sometimes I have days like that, and I'm just like, why? But thank you. Okay. We're almost there. We're almost done with probably the hardest part of this painting. I don't know. Do you guys find the feathers the hardest, or like the face? I can't decide. Okay. Mary says that she loves being near the sea and walking on the beach. AC says, I love reading too. What kind of books do you read? I'm currently reading the book Marshmallow Test. Cool. I there are two kinds of books I love to read. I love to read business books because I geek out about business. I know it's weird, and then I love fantasy, like fantasy books, like Sarah J. Maas, Leah, what is her name? Gosh, Leah Bargo. I can't believe I can't remember her last name. I'm currently reading the Torch Against the Night. It's part of the my brain is starting to stop thinking, because going live makes me really nervous and takes a lot of my energy, so my brain is like not working. Okay, let's move on before I embarrass myself any further. Yeah, let's add more to his wings here, okay? And then over here. So let's go over here. He's pretty dark right here. I'm gonna add some Payne's Gray. And as I'm painting this area, I'm painting little tiny feathers into the orange part, as you can see, to kind of just give him more texture there. And then I'm going to take this other brush, just water, of course, and kind of blend this out like that. I'm leaving some of that blue too. I don't want to blend everywhere. I'm going to add some more Payne's Gray over here. And yeah, that looks pretty good. And yeah, let's I'm sorry I can't read all of your guys' comments. Thank you, Az. They say your channel is really wonderful too. It makes me want to improve my watercolor. Aw. Hi, Chloe. How are you? She says, good morning. The flycatcher looks great. Can't wait for next week's challenge. Me too. Joy says, your real-time tutorials are much appreciated. I have learned so much. Good. That just makes me so happy. I'm glad you learn a lot. Okay. I'm gonna add some Payne's Gray here. Because yeah, he has like a shadow here, and yeah, be careful using Payne's Gray with orange and yellow because it could turn your color green. Okay. Then okay, actually I'm going to go ahead. I'll work on this area more here soon. I am going to move down here to this area here, and this is part of his wing on this side, and it's dark. And you know what I realized? I think I painted over some of his belly. Like he has, I don't know, maybe I didn't. Anyways, yeah, let's paint this in. Okay. Kind of blend a little bit, not too much. I'm not too worried about making this detailed right here because yeah, it's not really the focal point, you know. And okay, I really think we should paint in his legs and his feet. So let's do that. Let's get that done. I'm going to be using burnt umber. So I have burnt umber here from Daniel Smith. And I'm gonna add some to my palette. The first layer will just be this burnt umber with a lot of water, so it's light. And then we'll add more detail and shadow when it dries. Okay, and then when we get to this part where his leg kind of blends into his body like that, I'm using my blending brush. I'm just kind of blending this like that. Okay. Can't really see my outline that well. Usually after I transfer my outline over on my paper, I go back over some of my pencil lines that I can't see well, but I forgot to do that today, so. Then he has claws like this. Sydney says the challenges are really fun. A lot of replay and more tutorials are on Nature with Watercolor if you're looking for more. I highly suggest joining. Thank you, Sydney, for mentioning that. Yeah, my monthly membership, Nature with Watercolor, is open. It only opens a few times a year, and it's open now, only for a few weeks. And I forgot to link it in the description. But after this live video, you should be able to find a link to learn more about it. Yeah, Zinni is a member. Sarah Lucas is a member. She's here somewhere. She was somewhere. And yeah. In fact, this month, well, each month you get 2 nature tutorials that are step-by-step, more in-depth than these live tutorials. And this month it's birds. So next month it's moths, and I just filmed a Luna moth tutorial. Okay, so the first layer is painted in. It looks rough, but it's fine because it's just the first layer. Oh yeah, Laura is a member too. She just joined. Yes, you're right, Laura. Leah Bardugo. That's right. That's her name. The author. I love her Six of Crows duology. It's one of my most favorite series ever. Okay. Let's go ahead and paint in his feathers down here. So let's do that, and then we'll work more on this area. So I'm cleaning my brushes. Okay. Cindy says I might redo the butterfly challenge to see how much I have improved. Ooh, that's a good idea. It's a really good idea. All right, so for these feathers down here, I'm just gonna use Payne's Gray. So I'm taking some Payne's Gray with my size 4 round brush. And I do want it to be pretty dark. So I'm only you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. I'm only mixing enough water in here to make it easy to paint with. And then this brush I'm going to blend with. Okay, I'm going to start with this far feather over here. Okay, then I'm going to take my blending brush. I'm just going to kind of blend this way so that it becomes a little lighter, gives it more depth if I just have some areas dark and some areas lighter. And then I'm going to move on over here because if I paint this feather next, there's a chance I might, like my paints will blend in together, and I don't want that. So I'm going to paint this big one here next. So I'm painting one side with this Payne's Gray, and then I'm going to take my blending brush, just blend this over here to kind of create like a gradient. And then yeah, some of that blue will show. Just kind of what I want. I do want that blue to show a little bit. Okay. Um, Chloe says feathers are the hardest. Too much detail and the bird looks too busy. It's such a mind game. Yeah, that's why, Chloe, I reduced the amount of feathers there are because it just ends up being too much. So it's okay to not paint every single feather in the reference photo. Taff says, I'm new to your channel, but feel like it's a group of friends just talking about art and whatnot. It's a lovely community, and you've truly made us feel welcome. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. I'm so thankful for you guys. Seriously, like, so thankful for you every day. Shelly says, your channel is my favorite, Allison. I watch the live videos over and over again. I find them calming and inspirational. Thank you for sharing every brushstroke. Such a gift. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Guys are going to make me cry. Okay, yeah, I'm just painting this larger feather over here now. Okay, before it dries, I'm gonna use my blending brush. Oh my gosh, I was using the wrong brush. I was painting with my blending brush. So I'm cleaning this brush that I was using to paint with. Okay, and I'm gonna blend this way. Okay. All right, that looks fine for now. Now I'm going to take some Payne's Gray and paint this feather that's like behind these other ones. Okay. All right. I will add more. It does look kind of rough right now. I will add more. I'm gonna let that dry. Oh, I can't believe we're almost 2 hours in. Isn't that crazy? Mary says, right now I'm reading Patricia Cornwell's book, Blowfly. I'm gonna write that down. Blowfly. Cool. Hi, Painting the Sky Kingdom. Hi. They say, hi there, everyone. I'm a bit late. Looking so pretty. Oh, and then they say, one of your biggest gifts is your composition. How you add the branches and flowers and make them so balanced, rather than just painting an actual straight branch, which is what I have always done. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, one of my goals this year is to add more of that to my artwork, like more elements in my paintings of my animals that have more of like a imaginary, magical look, I guess. Liz, hi Liz. Liz says, I belong to Nature with Watercolor. Yeah, Liz is a member too. And she says, I love the way the tutorials are in sections so you can come and go easily. So excited to do the birds this month. If you sign up, you have access to all the classes. Hi, Claire. She says, just popping in today for a bit. Hugs, sweetie. Hugs to you too. She says, looks beautiful. You are taking many deep breaths today. You got this. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm just kind of, I don't know, nervous, I guess. These live tutorials do make me nervous still. Okay. Let's add some more blue to his wings, and then we'll add more detail. We're almost getting there. We're almost done. So if you're like, wow, 2 hours, yeah, I know, 2 hours is a long time. My live tutorials usually go maybe an hour and a half on average, so this is kind of getting a little long, but it's fine. It's fun to hang out with you guys. Okay, so I'm taking some of this glittery paint from KMS Watercolor. It's called Big Dipper. I'm just adding some of this here. If you don't know, if you're new here, I love to paint with shimmery glittery paints. It's so fun. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of this over here and add some like feathery textures here and there, like that. Okay, I'm gonna take this other brush, my blending brush. I'm not gonna smooth out everywhere. I'm just gonna kind of dab my brush here and there, kind of smooth things out a little bit. Okay, and then yeah, I'm gonna add some more for here. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still having some of that lighter blue underneath unpainted. That's what I want. I'm gonna add some more blue here. Let's see. Kizzy is back, yay. She says, I'm a new member of Nature with Watercolor. It's like a happy place, the most wonderful courses and sweetest community. Definitely one of the best decisions of 2021 is joining the membership. Aw, thank you, Kizzy. Okay, yeah, I'm just adding some more of this blue, kind of where I painted the Payne's gray. I'm just kind of adding this there too to kind of help darken up, give his wings more depth. Taking my blending brush and just kind of dabbing this a little bit. Yeah, so I'm just kind of running back over the feathers. I'm not doing as much blending now. Okay. Okay, so I can spend, gosh, hours and hours more on this painting, guys, like just on the bird. But, you know, I can't last hours and hours long live. So, what was I trying to say? See, as you can tell, my mind is starting to like not work. But yeah, after this live tutorial, I most likely will go back into this bird and add more detail to him. And and whatnot, and of course paint my branch down here in the leaves. But I'm just gonna kind of try my best to show you as much as I can in the short amount of time we have left. So yeah, I'm just going back over areas with the dark glittery blue I'm painting with, giving him more depth. And I'm always painting in the same direction his feathers grow. That's super important. And then I'm going around the edge of his head and just adding a little bit of little feather details. Okay. Thank you, Des. Hi. She says it looks fantastic. Thank you. Hi, Dee. Dee says hello from Seattle. Beautiful bird. Thank you so much. Ashton is here. Hi, Ashton. She says just tuning in during my plan time to watch a little while. I'll do the tutorial. Watch what I missed tomorrow. Yay! I'm glad you can stop by and say hi. Painting the Sky Kingdom says, exciting. I look forward to the magical backgrounds. Billy, hi Billy. They say, looking forward to this. Yay. Bye, Claire. Hannah says, I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, bought 6 pieces of clearance art just to get the frames. I've done that too, Hannah, where I buy clearance art for the frames and I throw away the art. And she says, one of the least expensive ways to frame my art. Just sharing this because it may help someone save money. Liz says, wonderful lesson. I will go back into this later also. Thank you, Allison. You're welcome, Liz. Thank you so much. Claire says, got to go. Quinn has turned into crazy hungry monster. That's so funny. Okay, let's move on. I'll continue reading your comments here soon. I'm going to take that same blue, same glittery blue I was using, and paint some of his tail feathers. So I'm just going to add some of this here, and oh my gosh, that's a lot. It's okay. I try my best to paint as realistic as I can, but I also like to add, you know, fun things. I don't like to just paint the whole bird realistically. Like I like to add glitter and like add some extra color in some areas. So I know his feathers down here are not like super blue, but I choose to paint some of them blue. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and add some more detail to his feet because they look a little sparse looking. So we'll do that. And then I'll add some more depth in this area. And then maybe up here too. And then we might be done. Heather says, if you're tired, can you finish it in another video? I could. I'm afraid I won't have much time though, because the bird challenge is next week. Okay. So I am taking my size 2 round brush, and I'm going to take some burnt umber, and then I'm going to kind of mix it into this Payne's Gray too to kind of darken it up. And then I'm going to paint on the lower part of his leg here. So I'm painting that in, and then the bottom of his foot. Then I'm going to take my blending brush, blend this out a little bit too. So are you guys painting anything else with your bird like I am? Like, are you going to add leaves or flowers? I'd love to know. And then he has like a little toe here behind his other toe. So I'm painting that in, then blending. His feet are, you know, not like the focal point of the painting. I don't want them to stand out too much, so I'm not going to put a ton of detail in them. It's just like a personal preference. So yeah, you can put as much or as little detail as you want in your feet. Okay. Gonna add some up here. Kind of feed out his leg up here so it looks like it's into his feathers. I kind of probably added too much. I'm gonna clean my brush and wipe some of this away. Oh no. I hope I didn't just mess up. Oh, okay. Let's just leave that alone. I'll fix that later on. I'll let that dry and kind of fix it somehow. Okay, and I'm going to add some here. Okay. I'm reading some of your comments now. Hannah says, thank you, Allison. Good warm-up for the bird challenge. He turned out great. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah and Bia. And Hannah says, KMS watercolor paint has definitely converted me into using shimmery paints. I never had used them before and ordered a bunch after seeing you use them so much. I love them. I love them too. Oh my gosh. If you go to her shop, there's a link in the description to her shop with a 10% off coupon code. But her shop is currently closed right now, I believe. It's reopening next month. Let's add some shadow here. It's looking a little too, I don't know, flat. So to do that, I'm now going to use black, because if I use Payne's Gray, you know, here, it's going to turn green because Payne's Gray has a blue tint to it. So I'm going to use black from Winsor & Newton. It's called Ivory Black. I'm just using a teeny tiny bit. Actually, you know what? Let's not use black, okay? That might not be a good idea. Let's use burnt umber. So I'm gonna mix some burnt umber into orange. Okay, I'm taking some of this orange color. Here, yeah, don't use black. I don't know what I was thinking. And then, yeah, I'm gonna use this. It's kind of like a orange brown, or like a dark orange. And I'm gonna use it on where his wing, right underneath his wing here. And then I'm gonna take my blending brush and blend out like this. And I'm gonna use some over here. And then around where his legs are. You can't even see what I'm doing, sorry. Like that, okay. I kind of painted in the wrong direction here. This whole area is a mess right now. Okay. Let's just let that dry. I'll fix that later. I'm gonna add some more down here. And then, yeah, he looks white down here too. So I might add some gray. Some of this gray on my palette. And I'm gonna add some down here a little bit, not too much gray. Okay. When this dries here, I will add a touch of gray in the shadow too. Oops. I'm going to take this brown orange and add some over here, like that. Take my blending brush, run over it. Don't blend too much. You just want to like soften it up a bit. And then along where the orange meets up with the blue, and I'm going to add some more over here. Okay. And then over here, did you guys find this tutorial helpful? Was it helpful for you? Did you have fun? Okay, I don't want to add too much lower, too much brown down here because it is lighter. It's like a very light yellow. Oh, okay. I'm gonna read some of your comments. Ashton says, I'm super excited for the challenge. I've already started transferring my sketches. Nice. I still need to do that. I plan on doing that this weekend. Liz says, this blue flycatcher is a warm-up to the challenge. The first bird of the challenge is vermilion flycatcher. Yep, that's right. I'm really excited about that vermilion flycatcher bird. It's like a beautiful, cute little red bird with black. Shelly says, inspired by your composition with this bird and your sweet little blue bird, I've added leaves and berries. Aww. Yeah, painting the sky kingdom. Yeah, this is not part of the bird challenge. It's just like a little warm up. And this video is public to my YouTube channel, but the bird challenge, you have to sign up for it to get the live tutorials, because the only people who will have access to the live tutorials for that challenge are the ones who sign up for it, if that makes sense. Bia says that she'll add some little flowers. Ashton says, I always find that if I want to do an art challenge, I have to plan ahead quite a bit or I'll fall behind or quit. Exactly. Yeah, it's good to just plan a little bit and prepare days ahead for it. Which I did send out an email. Those of you who joined the bird challenge, I sent one out this morning on how to plan for the challenge, or like how to prep for the challenge. Yeah, the link to sign up for the bird challenge is in the description of this video. I'm just giving you a little close up here. I think I'm done. I will go back in, guys, with later on and add more detail to him. But yeah, I think he's pretty much good to go for this tutorial. Yeah, I hope you had fun. I hope you liked it. I'm just reading some of your comments here. Heather says, it looks awesome. I can't wait to paint it today. Yay! Joy says, very helpful for practicing brush strokes for realistic feathers and texture. Yeah. Shelly says, your tutorials are so much fun and extremely helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Ashley, my sister's here. Right there. That's my sister. She says, can't stay long because of school. This looks awesome, Allison. Thank you. She edits my tutorial videos for my Nature with Watercolor membership, and she's been so helpful helping me out. Thank you, guys. You're so nice. So nice. Yeah, this tutorial is over. I'm just reading your comments. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. If you haven't already, it would mean a lot to me if you could give this video a thumbs up, because that would tell, sorry, I'm just trying to tell YouTube that people like this. video, and they'll show it to more people. It's fun. It was so fun. And thank you for joining me. I can't wait for next week. If you haven't joined the challenge, link is below. If you want to learn more about nature with watercolor, my monthly membership, I will link that below too for you guys. And yay! Bye! Bye Mary, Joyce, Bea, Heather, Painting the Sky, Keenum. You'll have to tell me your name sometime. Laura, Naomi, Shelly, Joyce, Hannah, Ashton, Liz. It's so hard to say goodbye sometimes. Susan, that's your name, Susan. I do, Mary. She says you have a great supportive family. I do. That they've always been so supportive. Fallon says, I just signed up. Not sure how much I'll have time to do it, but I'm excited. Yay! Yeah, the great thing is that when you join the bird challenge, you get access to it forever. So even if you can't do it right now on your, like right now with us, you can do it on your own time. So yeah. Okay. I know, I don't want to go either. I'm really hungry. It's lunchtime, and yeah, so I'm gonna go. But it's so much fun. Thank you guys. Thank you, Laura, Liz. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you Monday for the challenge. So yeah, bye. Appreciate you guys so much. Bye.